Jumping into today's tutorial, we're going to use this gene expression search on the My Workspace dashboard to start. We're going to start with the single gene display toggle and the exact search toggle. Previously on the gEAR, you were able to type in whatever genes you were interested in. And for a small gene list, this still works, and it's a easy way to quickly search different profiles or different dataset collections. However, as your gene list becomes larger and larger, you're going to want to be able to uh, just have a saved list that you can use every time. And that's where this quick search using gene lists comes in. So if you click on the drop-down menu, here, if you know the gene list name or a keyword in it, similar to previously how we had it on the gEAR, you can just search and the gene list will show up. However, for most use cases where you're going to try and find a gene list that's useful to you, you're probably going to start with this saved items or categories. Under it, we have our favorites. So these are ones that are going to be site curated. So the gEAR team has worked on creating ones that are useful to the hearing community. Recent ones, so ones that you've recently utilized. Saved gene lists, ones that you've saved through various different modules on the gEAR, and we have tutorials on how to do that. And then shared gene lists, ones that might have been shared between two different users using a share ID. Today we're going to focus on this favorite section, and here you can just see a large menu of the various gene lists that are site curated. Each of the gene list names, there's a plus sign on the left-hand side, and this allows you to add each gene list as you need to, or deselect them by re-clicking on the check mark. As you can see, as you click through the gene list, the genes tab on the right-hand side updates with what gene is in that gene list. So for cochlear HC's adult, we can see all of these genes here. And if we want to add all of these genes, we just click on that plus sign again. However, if we only wanted, say, the first 3 genes, we can quickly just add them to it. And likewise, this works in reverse. So if you want the gene list, and let's say we didn't want these 3 genes, you can deselect all of those and it'll update. You can also select multiple gene lists and deselect them as well. So moving forward, let's select the first, cochlear HCs, cochlear HCs P0, and we'll do the Henson cells as well, and we'll click proceed. Now we'll see 3 gene lists were selected, and then the profile or dataset collection that we wanted to use. So we've updated this dropdown as well to be in line with similar to the gene list menu. So you have your categories here, similar to the gene list. The only difference here is we have a groups section here, and this groups is, let's say, your entire lab, and then you could have others shared with you, which is just, let's say, a collaborator wanted to share a dataset collection with you. Clicking on the site curated, now you'll see all of the named dataset collections that are curated by the gEAR team here. We will stick with this hearing default, so we can actually just cancel here, or you can click on it and it'll show hearing default. Again, single gene display, exact search turned on. We have our 3 gene lists selected. We'll click the search button. As you can see, the spinning wheel indicates it's loading. It'll take a second to populate all of the genes. On the left-hand menu, we see our search results. So we have 27 genes that we searched for. And here, all of the dataset the dataset collection shows up, and you see various different displays for this dataset collection, showing the gene expression for that gene. As you click through, you'll see that the images will change for different genes that you've selected, and so you can quickly navigate through this. However, if we wanted to see, say, a multi-gene display, see all of these genes in our selection, we'll come here. Let's say we only wanted to look at a specific dataset collection, so let's click that, proceed, switch this multi-gene display, and search. And now we won't see a search results section because we're only searching this one gene list here. And if all of the genes that we would need should be showing up in our multi-gene display. For some of the menus, you'll see like a truncated list. If you click on the expand button, it spreads it out a little bit more, so you shouldn't see such a truncated list. And as you go through, you can see all of the multi-gene displays. Going back to the My Workspace dashboard, let's say we wanted to turn off the exact search. So I wanted to just look at a family of, let's say, the Sox family in the hearing default. If I do that just by searching, this does have to be a single gene display only. And you click on search. This one might take a little bit longer just because of the fact that we are searching the entire family, so it can be a bit longer. And it's not a perfect match, so it's, now we have 54, but we're searching anything with Sox in it. So we have QSOX1, but we also have all the Sox family. And we can go through each one and see how their expression shows up in these various data sets. Or if they do not show up, the given gene symbol does not show up in that data set. So you might see that error here, and that is totally acceptable. Not every gene is going to show up in every data set. And especially when you're working on a data set collection of various different experiments, you may see that happen. And the menu will show up at all of the genes that you've searched. And that is how to use the gene lists for faster searching in dataset collections. Thank you.